saying that if you say you're an average user of Excel, you use less than 1% of the capability of Excel. Okay, if you say that if you're an average user of Excel, you still use less than 1% of the capability of Excel, which means that there's a whole lot in Excel that we have not yet explored. And we started by giving a simple task to see how can we add up these numbers. And what we have seen yesterday that even when we see numbers, that not all numbers that appear in Excel are numbers you can add up. Okay, so it is important you must identify the data types. Okay, and yesterday we identified several data types. So what are the data types we identified?
That's numbers,
Number,
text,
text,
boolean, and
boolean,
formula.
and formula. Good. Okay, and whenever you see a number, how we know it's a number?
Yes, it's always on the left hand side. No, right hand side.
A number is always aligned to the right.
Right.
Good. What about the text?
Text is always left.
Is aligned to the what? Left. Good. What about boolean?
That's center.
Center. And the formula?
Equal to.
That is what? Equal to. Okay, so those are the basic data types. And once you identify it, you must understand again that what actually differentiates a number from a string is that what? What's the thing that differentiates a number from a string?
Yes, number can perform what's it called arithmetic uh,
Arithmetic operations, beautiful.
operations.
Okay, so beyond the alignment, also, that is why even when you see a number like a phone number, it is still not a number. It is
Yes.
treated as what? A text. Because it makes no sense to add up phone numbers, add up account numbers, add up PO box. It makes no meaning. Okay. Then we also looked at that in Excel, that Excel is a tool that helps us work very smart. Not about working hard, but working what? Smart. And we have what they call these few handles. So no matter what we are doing, all we just do is to what? Drag it. So for example, if I highlight it, I just come here and double click, or I drag down. So it all depends. Okay. So where the difference lie, well, how you know that you should double click or you should highlight. So for example, if I have nothing, if I have no, so for example, if I have nothing by the side of it, so that means even if I double click, it doesn't know what to look at for. So what I would do, I have to drag it down. Okay. But if I have something close by, if I have another column close by and I just double click, it will just fill it down up to where it sees the data and stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the difference between when you drag down or
Double click.
when you double click. Okay. Then I'll still come and show you again when you are using the formula how to also drag down with keyboard. Okay. So that's for that. Then we also showed you that yes, Excel also understands the month, the period, also understand the day of the week, right? And I'll also show you later how to customize this, okay, to make to fill your own. Okay, what again do we look at? Yes, we also looked at that whenever you have a data set, right, you must always learn to format it properly. Okay, you must always learn to format it properly. Now you must always learn to format it properly. Okay, and for instance, yesterday we have noticed that here there was no currency, this was just general. So by best practice, is also important we at least put what? Decimal. So just put comma there. Okay. And if it's for accountants, most accountants they rather just put the naira sign on top. Okay. But
Yeah.
again, if you want to also put the dollar sign or amount, just switch it. and put your currency there. Okay. So we also differentiated between currency and accounting. That currency, the symbol comes close to the numbers. But when you use accounting, you see it gives a space. So that's just the difference between them, okay? Then we looked at Excel as an analytical tool. We say we can use Excel to either analyze data in the past or analyze data we are going to use in the future, in the sense that for past data, we can either do some basic reporting and analytics, okay? Then for future, either we are doing modeling or what, forecasting, okay? Because if we look at data analytics, because data analytics basically has four parts, what we call descriptive analytics, right? Diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and we have the prescriptive analytics. So maybe I can write that down. I will say data analytics has basically four parts. So we have descriptive, we are describing what has happened in the past. We have diagnostics, analytics. Why has it happened? Okay. Then we have predictive analytics, what is likely going to happen in the future. Then we have prescriptive, we are prescribing what should I do to make it happen. Prescriptive analytics. Okay, so the same way in Excel can also do all this. So for example, when you talk about descriptive statistics, you are describing your data. And in Excel, we have what they call descriptive statistics. Okay. We also have, you can also use your visuals also. You can have your charts to also plot the trend lines and the rest. You have diagnostic to understand why has it happened. Okay. So in case you are saying, oh, sales is going down. So how did you know it's going down? So you must have plotted your trend line, and that will show you what you are doing, you are describing it. Next question, why is it happening? So to further drill down, you have what they call your pivot tables. And we'll look at that much later. So you are describing or diagnosing why it has happened. So you start drilling down. They talk about predictive analytics. So somebody talked about doing regression here. So you can also do that in Excel. You are trying to predict what is likely going to happen. Now, if I know the pattern in the past, okay, based on that pattern, I can use that to also make some prediction in the future. Then prescriptive is that for me to make certain sales or targets, there are certain things I must do. Okay, so this is what they call prescriptive. In Excel, we have what they call data table, which is your sensitivity analysis. So your data table. Okay, sensitivity analysis. You also have your optimization, linear programming. So if you're an engineer, so you can also do that here. Linear programming to optimize. Okay, so these are the basic things that we can do in Excel in terms of data analytics. Okay, now we also showed that we can get the currency, right, and always put it there. Okay, then we said that we are working with Excel sheets. Basically, best practice, use 3 sheets, isn't it? That one sheet should be your data sheet. The other sheet should be your analysis sheet.
While the last should be your visualization sheet.
Yes, or your reports. You call it your report sheet. You call it your what? Reports. Okay. Then we looked at again that we said in Excel is a spreadsheet, isn't it? And the spreadsheet is made up of what? Rows and columns.
Rows and columns. Yeah.
Enable us carry out what? Calculations, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're able to identify that in Excel. How does Excel identify a row? How does Excel identify a row?
By number.
By
the numbers.
Yes. And how does Excel identify a column?
By the alphabets.
By the alphabet. I will say where a row and column meet is called what?
A cell.
It's called a cell. Okay. And every cell has an address. A cell address.
Cell address.
Okay. A cell address. Okay. I will say that when we are working with this Excel, that Excel is also can also work with large data. How many rows do we have in Excel?
1,048,578 rows.
Beautiful. How many columns do we have in Excel?
16,384.
2,000.
16 million.
16 million.
16,000.
16,000. Oh, sorry. 16,000. Sorry. 16,384.
Yes, 16. And how many cells do we have in Excel?
17 billion.
It's about 17 billion cells. So Excel can also work with what? Large data. But the challenge you will notice is that once your data becomes large, Excel becomes unstable. Okay. Have you ever tried to open a 100 megabyte Excel file? Even 20 megabyte Excel file, you see that Excel will struggle. The moment you want to refresh or you want to update something, before you know it, you say Excel is not responding. Okay, so that's why at every point, make sure you always save your work. Always save your work. Okay. So we said that when you are working with Excel, that Excel works with cells. Okay, that it is not in a cell, it's not Excel, because anytime you are working with formulas, you always reference it to a particular word cell. So Excel always work with word cells. Okay, and whenever we are working with in Excel, there are certain rules we should learn. Okay, and we said that when you are working with your worksheet, have 3 sheets you work with: your data sheet, your analysis sheet, and your
report sheet.
Okay. And when we talk about our data sheet, there are certain rules we must observe. First rule is that what?
No empty rows and no empty columns.
No what? Empty what?
Rows and no empty columns.
No empty what? Columns. Thirdly,
you must have a row of header.
A row of header, isn't it? Every table must have a header. Every table must have what? A header. Okay, what again?
No totals, no subtotals in your data.
No totals or no sub or totals. And the reason is that in your data sheet, you are not doing any analysis there. Because Excel is widely abused, it is the only place that you have your data, you have your analysis, you have your report, everything in one. And you know that Excel is also a software. You know, in proper software, you have your input, right, where you enter your code, and you have your output where you have the result somewhere. But in Excel, it is a place where you have your input and your output together. So it is your back end, it is your front end. So because of that, it's usually widely abused. Okay, so rather just separate them. So those your totals and subtotals, you can do them in your analysis sheets. But in your data sheet, you just keep only the data. Okay. Then another thing again we talked about that we should
all dates must be in a single column.
All dates must be in a single column, isn't it?
And all category must be in a single column.
So the reason is that for our dates, you know how many columns do we have?
16,384.
Yeah?
16,384.
So we have about 16,000 columns. So just imagine you keep adding your days in daily like that, isn't it? As you're adding the columns, you will get to what? 16,000. But the rows have how many? How many rows do we have?
1,060,000.
1 million. Which one do you think we exhaust quickly? The row or the column?
It is
The
the
column.
column
The
that
column,
will
isn't it? So it is easier to what? Put them on the what? Rows. At least that one you can easily what? Scale them. Okay. Same thing with your product. Okay. Your categories. Always ensure they are in what? A single word column. Because at the end of the day, the number of columns you will see should be what? Reduced to the barest what? Minimum. And lastly, another rule again we can take note of, especially when we keep our data sheet, that there should be no obstructions around your data. So, for example, do not type, for example, maybe this amount here. You go and type mobile is still owing the sum of 10 million. You are writing by the side. Do not write anything around the data. Do not write anything. Instead of writing, rather use a comment. So I can just right click here and say insert comments. Then I'll say mobile is owing the sum of 10 million. You see that? So once I have done that already, once I've done that, it's already a comment. So can you see when I put it there, I can see the comments there, rather than me typing inside it. So do not type anything around that data at all. Okay. So whenever you keep your table in, follow these basic rules, you see the time you spend to clean your data will be what? Minimal. Okay. And whenever you learn these rules and you are working in an organization and working as a team, you must also teach others how to do it. Now, the reason is that if you say you don't have time to do it, isn't it? They will do whatever they like, is it? And when they do whatever they like, the time you'd have used to analyze, you are using it to do what? The time you have analyzed data now, you use that time to do.
To clean that out.
you use that time to
Clean
clean
data, exactly.
the
You use that time to clean that data. Okay. But whenever you have it in that compact structure, you see that analysis become very easy for you. Okay. So things that we should take note of, that once ever you see your table, that there should be no empty rows, no empty columns. And again, the reason you should not have empty rows, when, for example, I want to select the data, can you see I can't select all the data at once? I have to now start what? Highlighting them like this. But if I'm using keyboard is actually very fast. So either I use Control A. Control A is the shortcut, or I can use Control Shift, right arrow, down arrow. But when I'm using the Control Shift, right arrow, because of this space, it terminates. Okay, so I have to keep dragging it down. Same thing. But if there was no space there, Control right arrow, down arrow picks the whole table at once. Okay, then always ensure you have a descriptive header. So for example, you say data. What's data? So always have what? A descriptive word header, something like this. Okay, you can do it like this. Now this I'm just showing you, but I will also show you another data set that looks more structured. Okay, so do not have obstructions around your what? Tables. Okay, what's this? Okay, I'll show you how to add. Okay, yes, we're still in working with worksheets. Now, other things you should take note of. Yes, other things you should take note of. Whenever you're working with a table, let's look at this table here. What do you think is wrong with this table? What do you think is wrong with this table?
the data type is not
Um, the estimated employment date. There are some, what's it called? Some cells are sharing same date.
Okay, they are sharing the same thing. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Like they match a cell together to
Okay, they merge the cells together. Okay. All right. So most times for your data, the most important information should come first. Okay, so if this is a HR data, right? So which information do you think is more important or most important?
Full name,
Profile. Okay. Okay. The full name.
full name,
Full name, phone number, sex, employee ID, then
Okay,
contact address.
name, phone number, employment date,
good, good, good. So full name, what again?
employment
Employee
ID,
ID, yes.
employment
Employee
date,
ID.
sex, and
All right, that's fine. Good, good, good. So that's how we are saying. Now, when you look at this, now as analysts, right? Whenever you see a table, every table there must be something uniquely identifying that table. Okay. So your full name. So when you see full name here, okay, most time names, two people can be carrying the same name, isn't it?
yes,
Can bear the same name, great name and surname. It's not possible.
it's possible.
Very possible. So most times the best practice to ensure that you always have what? A unique identifier. Okay? And that unique identifier is what? The employee what? ID. Okay, so when we get to SQL, we'll explain, we'll talk more on this, okay? When you talk about your primary key, okay? But just know that every table must have what? A unique identifier, okay? So I can separate each record, okay? Or each row, so I can easily differentiate them. So followed by name. So sometimes some people will decide to put both full name together, or you can separate your first name and surname, you can separate them, okay? Then you can have the sex, isn't it? Now, another thing you see that most times employees can be employed on the same day. So, for example, these three were employed on the same day. Now, most times what people do is that they will merge it. Please never merge any cell in Excel. Never what? You say you should never what?
Never merge any
Merge cells
cell
in
in
Excel.
Excel.
Never merge any cell. Never merge any cell. Rather, what should you do? Repeat it. If it appears 100 times, repeat it 100 times. The only time you are allowed to merge, the only time, especially if you are not doing any analysis, for example, if it's the name like this, can you see the name? Monthly revenue from clients. Are we doing any analysis here? Are you doing any analysis here on this place here?
No,
So that is the only time you can merge cell. Apart from that, never merge any cell in Excel. Why? Because Excel works with what? Cells. So if I have a particular cell I want to correct here now, how will I know which cell I'm correcting? So just imagine you want to go and correct this person, Mary Eze. I want to correct Mary Eze now, the date now. So which cell am I correcting? So which cell am I correcting? For Mary Eze, which cell am I going to do correction?
S4.
Now, but you see it's for employment date now. On the employment date, I want to correct it now.
Yes, Q3 and Q4.
So you see, it is only one cell that is there, Q3. That's all. I cannot do any other thing again. You see that? So do not merge any word cell. Rather, what should you do? Repeat it. Even if it's 100 times, repeat it 100 times. Okay? Always repeat instead. Okay? Because always have at the back of your mind that this table you are keeping is going to be used for analysis sometime in the world future. So right now you may be collecting data, you just say, let me just collect data and keep. But always have at the back of your mind that this data is going to be analyzed sometime in the world future. So always have at the back of your mind how you should always structure the word data. Okay? So never what merge. Never what merge. Another thing again you should take note of, avoid hiding rows and columns. Avoid what? Hiding rows and what? Columns. I'm sure some people are always doing that. Avoid hiding what? Rows and what? Columns. Now, the reason is that, when you are doing your analysis, sometimes because you are in the moment, right? You will remember everything you have done. Let's assume you are finished working or doing the certain analysis you sent to your colleague or so. Maybe they just kept the file for a while. Meanwhile, other things have come up now, maybe 2 months, 3 months down the line. Now somebody is checking what the analysis you have done before and is saying, there's something wrong with it. They send it back to you. When you have noticed that there's an error, but sometimes you cannot even trace, you are the one that did it, but you cannot remember how you have done it. But you did it and you got the result, but you can't remember, but what's missing here? Sometimes that hidden column or hidden rows can cause a big problem. Okay? Because sometimes we do what they call helper cells. Helper cells. Okay? So for me to do some analysis, I need to create a column to help me. Then at the end of the day, I will now hide it. You know how to hide? If I want to hide this column now, I will right click and say hide. Can you see that? Can you see in between T and V? There's no U again. So it shows that it's what hidden. Okay. If I want to also hide this, I'll say hide. Can you see that? So if assuming there was something I have hidden here and I'm analyzing and I'm still seeing that this value is wrong, so it means that I may have to go and start all over again. So most time avoid what? Hiding. Okay, avoid what? Hiding.
Sorry, coach. Can't
Yes.
we you are the one that hide it now, you should be able to recover it back.
Now, if you want to unhide, right?
Yes.
So let me show you another way to hide. So let me hide this column. So I want to hide this. Can you see hidden? If I want to also hide this place here, I want to hide this. So another way of hiding, instead of me hiding the column can be there, but I can switch the font size to white.
Oh, this one is awesome now.
You see
Yeah,
that?
awesome. You forget.
This one is even more dangerous for you.
It's dangerous. That's
Okay? Even more dangerous. But avoid.
Sorry, please, can you redo this one you
Yes, if I want to hide, right, I'll just right click.
Okay,
and
right.
say hide.
Okay.
If I want to also hide this, right, but without hiding the column, but I want to hide the content. So what I'll just switch the text, the font color to white.
Oh, to white.
Okay. Now it's hidden. Now, do you see this thing? I can use a whole week and be looking for where the problem is. I will not find it.
Yes.
Because remember, you have so many projects on your hands now that this one you thought you have done with it and you are done, is it not? So this is not even your problem right now. You have other issues. But they're not telling you, but this thing you have done is you will sweat looking for how you have done these calculations or so. So do not hide. So just in case anything is hidden, what you can do, you don't know where it's hidden, but you just know, okay, maybe it's hidden somewhere. You come here. Can you see your sheet here? Can you see this sheet? Let's go to the beginning. So you can see it here. Can you see between A and this? Can you see this? Can you see that button there? So it means select the whole sheet. Can you see that? Select the whole sheet. So if I'm selecting the whole sheet there, what I can now do, I can just come here to my column, right click and say unhide. So wherever anything is hidden on this sheet, if you want, unhide it. Then I can also come to my font color and switch it to black. So wherever was hidden as anything is going to what? Come out. Okay? So that's a way of what? Bringing out everything that was.
But coach, I have a question. At
Yeah.
what point do you think any analyst would want to hide his or her work?
So first of all, when you are working in an organization, right? Just imagine that after you finish work, you are going on vacation. Another person is still going to take over now, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
So to ensure that there's continuity, isn't it? Is it important should you be hiding?
No.
Everything should be transparent now, is it not? The only time you
Exactly.
can hide is if, for example, they just say, pull this report for me, right? They don't care about any other thing. As long as you pull the report, take that your report. That's why you have that your report sheet. Just take that report sheet and give it out. Nothing will be hidden there. But in your analysis sheet, maybe you need just something to help you to extract. Then maybe you can, especially if it's just for you and you're not giving it to anybody. If it's for you, yes, you can hide. But as long as you're working with in a team, avoid what hiding for transparency sake. Okay? Only if it's just for your own consumption. You just know, okay, this is what I want to do. But for me not to let the report look okay, I can just hide. I'll show you when we get to VLOOKUP. So sometimes when we are doing VLOOKUP to extract, sometimes we need to have a helper cell. Okay? So in that helper cell, sometimes people hide it so that you don't see how it comes out. Okay? But most time avoid what hiding. But even at all you want to hide, I've shown you can either use your font this thing to color it white and it's still there. Okay? But sometimes it is very dangerous. Okay? I don't know, are we clear with that?
Yes.
Yes,
To avoid hiding, is it not? Avoid merging cells, isn't it? Then another thing again we can do, we can always apply color. So for example, if I want to color this, so you can always apply colors to your tabs and always rename your sheets. Always name your sheets. Now by default, Excel will label it as what? Let's say sheet 1,
Sheet
sheet
1, sheet 2, sheet 3.
just imagine you have 10 sheets here and they say go to performance sheets. You will click in sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Oh, okay, I've now seen it. They say go to HR sheets. You will check in sheet 1, sheet 2. So always what label your sheet. So rather double click and say, okay, this is my report sheet. Okay. Double click again. This is my analysis sheet. Okay. Always what label your word sheets for easy word identification. Always label your word sheet. So just double click and type on it. Okay. Now in the same way, you can also hide sheets too. Can you see? I can also hide. You see that? I can also hide word sheets. You can hide and what unhide. Okay. You can also hide your sheets too. Then you can apply color. So for example, I come here to my color tab. I can have that. Let me do that. So I can have another color again. I can leave that. I can have another color again. Now the thing is that you can apply any color that you want, but please take note. Not that you came to Excel class and you learned how to color. Then you start coloring everything white, blue, purple, green. No. Apply colors professionally. Okay. So most time what guides you in using your colors is that for most organizations you may have a logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for example, like a Zenith Bank, what's their color?
Red. Red.
Red.
It can be red, black, white, isn't it? Like First Bank, what's their color?
Blue.
Blue and white, is it not?
Blue and white, yes.
Blue and white, beautiful. So it is based on the company's logo that you can now use to also apply colors or know the color scheme that you should also use. Okay. So
How about if those companies share same colors?
Yeah, that's fine. That's also fine. That's also fine. Okay. Just use But the point is that apply colors professionally. That's what we are saying. Okay.
Okay.
Not what abuse it. That's what we are saying. Okay. You can also do that because at the end of the day, what you want to achieve is that whenever you see your data or your report, it should look what professional. Okay, not you see the whole sheet scattered. Okay, it should look what professional. Okay, the other thing again we should try to avoid using excessive capital letters where you see everything all caps. You're writing everything all capital letter. Okay, so avoid everything capital letter. Okay, avoid it. You can use it sometime maybe for headers or so, but do not use capital letters or too much. Okay. So at the end of the day, we should try and see how we can ensure that our sheet looks more professional. Is that okay? Are we clear with this? Working with Excel sheet. Yeah? I know there are some practices we are still used to. Now I keep saying that you need to unlearn some of them. Yeah? You need to unlearn some of them, especially the one of merging cells. Once you just see a cell merge, just know that as you have seen it as an analyst, just know that that is going to cause problem for you already. Okay, so how do you merge cells normally? So for example, if I wanted to merge, so for example, if I have this space here, I can remove this and delete, right? So can you see that space has been removed? Now just imagine here, I have
Coach, how do you
here,
do it though?
look at now, I just right click and say delete. And I've deleted that my empty space, isn't it? We'll come and
Sorry,
show
Coach. It should be affecting this April because April would have shifted.
you. Don't worry, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you now. That's
Okay.
why whenever you're working with sheets, right, you do not just put tables just together this way. Rather, extend them because whatever you have down here, if I do any adjustments here, it's going to affect my whole table down. Are you seeing that? That's why it's giving you warning. You understand that? Unless you know you are not using this table for anything. But because this is just for explanation, right? So whenever you are working with tables, rather be putting them in the columns, isn't it, by the side. And now I say most time keep your sheets, your data sheet will be separate. Because on this sheet, we are doing both keeping as data, we are doing as analysis, doing as report. So whenever we have it like it looks more clumsy. And any analysis or any adjustments we do can also affect the other ones. Okay, so always ensure that there's nothing disturbing your data. Okay, so for example, if I was to remove this, it is going to definitely affect the other table below it. Okay, so most times avoid having any table under. Okay, now another thing again I want to show you is that, so for example, if we have, for example, this data now, I want to make it, I want to add it, I want to centralize it, right? Here. So the only way I can do it is either I type the data at the middle here. Alternatively, I can take all these cells together, isn't it? Because I'm not doing any analysis on it, I can merge and center. Can you see that? Merge and center. If I don't want to merge and center, I just click on it and it's done. So the same thing without what has been done here. So if I can see merge and center, if I uncheck it, so that's it. Can you see that? So if I click merge and center, it will centralize it. It will merge all the cells together and centralize it. Merge and center. Okay. So this is the only time you're allowed to do merge and center, right? Apart from that, do not merge any cells. Do not merge any cells. Okay, are we clear with that? So I've shown you how to insert sheets, right? How to rename your sheets, how to put colors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to another one. Let's go to freeze pane. Let's go to freeze pane. Freeze pane. Now, whenever you're working with Excel, right, there are different ways of doing the same thing. Different ways of doing the same thing. But only that some are more efficient than the others. Okay, but it's only for you to now know which is more efficient for you and makes it life easy for you. Let's look at, okay, let me see this one now. Can you tell me, let's say this amount here, 118, right? Can you tell me the sector and can you tell me the year? Can you tell me this sector? Which sector? And can you tell me which year?
No.
You cannot, that means I have to scroll to the left, isn't it? And say,
Yes.
okay, this is telecommunication. Then I have to scroll up and say, oh, this is 2001. Do you see that? Do you understand the problem now? Do you understand what this problem is?
Yes.
Okay. The problem is that it is hidden. The information
That the data is too large,
describes.
Yes, that means
that
anything I
file
want
is
to
large.
confirm the value, I need to be moving, scrolling up and down, left and right every time. If I want to see another value again, I need to what? Scroll left, scroll up. You see that?
So that means what you want to do is that you want to freeze it from its
Exactly. So such a way that I want to always see this and I want to always see this.
quickly find the information that describes that data.
Yes. Okay. So for us to do that, so this is the beginning of the table, right? So this is what I want to always see this column, and I always want to see this row, isn't it?
Yes.
So because of that, I want to come so that I can always see this column. Can you see in front of this column? This is cell, right? Which cell is this one?
B3.
B3, is it not? Such that I can always see the top row, which is B2, is it not? I want to always see this row, and I always want to see this column. So I will come in between here and click here. So once I click here, what do? I will go to my view, right? View. Can you see view? The view tab. Then can you see freeze pane?
Yeah.
Freeze pane. All right. So let's go back now. Can we see it now? Can we see the number now?
Yes, so
Yeah.
It is clear now, right? Do you understand how to do this? So let me go back and do it again. So if I know, for example, if I know I want to check maybe from 95, is it not? I want to always see 95. So I will come in front of here. And I also want to see this row on top, isn't it? I always want to see that row on top. So I'll come here, isn't it? Because I want to always see 95. So what do? I'll come here, view, come to your view tab, freeze pane, and freeze. So when I'm dragging, can you see I'm always seeing 95? And I can scroll. So that just see. So wherever you want to freeze, so I want to freeze from the beginning, I come here, view, freeze panes, and I can see everything that I need to see.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. This activity sector, I noticed that the lines, the cells are not there. So what is the importance of removing the cells and making it blank?
Okay, so those lines, they are called grid lines.
Sorry?
They are called grid lines. So you know in Excel,
this
is what makes it an Excel sheet, isn't it? This is what makes it an Excel. This is how you know that this is Excel.
Exactly.
Is it not?
Yeah.
So the same thing, if I come to my view tab, can you see my view tab?
Yes.
If I check grid lines, can you see it's now clean?
Oh, okay.
That's why sometimes there are some things you think is a software, but it's Excel. What makes
I
you know
don't
is
tell
that it's
Microsoft.
because of those grid lines. But if I remove those grid lines, it now looks different. So if I want to remove my formula bar, I can remove my formula bar. If I want to remove my headings, I can remove my headings. So it will not be looking like a software. You see that? So it's so sometimes this your grid line just for presentation sake. So you remove those grid
Okay.
lines so that your report looks more clean.
Okay.
That's just
Okay.
the reason why you remove them. So sometimes you can put them to easily trace your rows and columns. But if you don't need it, you just need to just show how it looks. Just remove the grid line. It makes it look more clean. I don't know if that answers you.
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay.
Sorry, coach.
Yeah.
Now to remove the grid line, do you have to click this um, column throughout?
No, no. So it's normally the grid lines is for the whole sheet.
Okay, but
It's for the whole sheet.
okay.
So can I
But
say,
if
But
you
now
want to
this,
remove,
but now this column A is still not showing that line here.
okay, here.
Yes.
So the reason now is that because everything was painted. So if I remove all the colors now, so for example, if I want to remove all the colors, no fill. Can you see that is there?
Okay. Okay.
Can you see that is there because of the color?
okay,
How I did see it.
okay.
You see that because of the color. That's why it is.
But if you want to remove a particular portion of the grid line, like let's say that activity, that's
So for example, here now, if I put a different color now, if I put a different color now, can you see you cannot see the grid line? You see that? That's how
Yes.
what was on there. If I switch the particular color on that this thing there, you will not see grid line there. Is that what you are seeing there? So here too, you also have this. Can you see there's no grid line?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that is exactly what was done there. So if I remove all the grid lines, can you see what you have?
mm,
Make it more clean. So are we clear with a free spin?
Yes.
All
yes,
right.
yeah. But I wanted to ask, if you go to that free Spain now,
Yes.
and let's say you want to remove the grid line between 1981 and 1982, the entire data there, and then leave the others. How do you go about it?
You want to remove grid. So just note that this grid lines by default is for the entire sheet.
Okay.
So what you want to now do is that if you want to create your own grid lines there, so what you can also do, I can remove the whole grid lines. But now for me to put lines, so between what and what now?
Yeah, between maybe 81 to 83.
So 81 to 83, this is where you want the lines, right? So I can come
Yes.
to my home tab. Can you see this? These are your grid lines also. I can also put here all borders. Something like this you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can come here. Can you see here? My all borders. I can switch it here. But if I don't want, I can just also highlight that and also come here and say no border.
Okay.
If I just only want it on this certain part, I can come here and say all borders. Can you see that?
Okay. Yeah. Mm.
As long as you can think about it, it can be done in Excel. That's all you need to do. Okay. All right. So we are clear with this now. So can we go to conditional formatting? Conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. All right, so look at this data. Look at this data. Can you tell me numbers greater than 3.5 million? Can you tell me numbers greater than 3? So tell me the revenue is greater than 3.5 million. So identify the clients and which month we have
Okay,
made
mobile, January 14th.
5 million.
That's 4.12.
So how many do you have?
Wait.
So you see that type of question, that's what the management will want to find out, isn't it? Okay, so what you are doing is that you are looking, isn't it, with your eyes. So just imagine that this was maybe you had 1 million rules like that. So tell me what you are going to be doing. You'll be counting it one by one, Abby. All right, so here, so if I highlight my table here, we'll see here. So we have what they call conditional word formatting. Can you see that? Under your home tab, you have conditional word formatting. So highlight cell rule. So what were we looking for? Greater than what? 3.5 million, right? Did we get that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you just highlight conditional. Even if you want to say, okay, how much do we make between, so let's say between 1 million and let's say 3 million. Between 1 million and 3 million. Okay. So most times if you have any rules, you can always clear rules. So you say clear rules from selected or entire sheets. It will clear everything out for you. Okay. Then other things you can do is that if I say give me the top 10% or top 10, okay, let's say top 10%, you can switch the color, let's say to green. Can you see that? Top 10%. So just by looking at your data, depending on what you want to achieve, you can always do. You can even say, give me the ones above average. So I can switch it to green. Above what? Average. So are we clear with how to identify them?
Yes.
Below average, can you see that? The green one was above average, the red one was below what? Average. So if I don't want anything, I can just come here, clear cell, clear rules, so clear everything. So that's for identifying. So another thing again you can do. So for example, I want to identify text now, isn't it? So highlight cell rule. Can you see text that contains? Text that contains. Contains what now? So if it's pass, I want pass. So let me switch it to green. Can you see that? So if it's text I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a particular person. So let's say I'm looking for a particular person there. Let's say text that contains, let's say Eric. Can you see that? So I can identify either for numbers or for that, okay? So for example, if I have, let me copy this again. Paste here. Let me copy this again. Paste here. Paste. All right. So if I'm looking for duplicates, so for example, I'm looking for duplicates. So I can highlight my whole names here, right? I come here and say conditional formatting, highlight what cell, isn't it? I'm looking for duplicate word values. Are they all duplicated? So let me first clear my rules so that clear rules. Okay, so are they all duplicated? So if I'm looking for duplicate value, I come here, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, duplicates. So here, because I have copied all of them, so they are all so like these guys are not duplicated, but every other one there's a duplicate there. So that's another way also to identify them. So whenever you see red, just know that there's a duplicate there, exactly the same thing. The moment I change one now, I just make one correction here. Can you see it's no longer duplicates? Can you see that? So that means that is how to also check for what duplicates. So are we clear with highlighting cell rules?
Yes, sir.
Highlight cell rules and bottom tail rules. Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Are we all clear?
Yes, yes.
Oluwaseyi, are you clear? Truth, are you clear?
Yes.
Omole,
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yes, I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, another thing again we can do sometimes, instead of present, so if you want to present in tables, right? Instead of making your table look very boring, you can also use what they call data bars. Have you seen this before? Data bars. So in some tables, you see where they present them like this. Have you seen this type of presentation before?
No.
They are called data word bars. If you want to present in form of tables, you can also present your table like this. So by looking at it, it's already telling you in relation to the numbers. Can you see that? In relation to what? The numbers. Is that what it's doing for you? So the same way, if I don't want it, I can come here and say clear cell rule. Can you see that? Now, those are what? Data bars. I can also come here. I can also have something like this. Can you see that? I can also have this. Okay. So these are your color fields. Okay. Sometimes again, you can also have hello. We can also have icon sets. Can you see this? Icon sets. Now you see this. This is because what do you think what is happening here? Why do you have all these hashtags here?
The space is not enough for them.
Space is
showcase.
not enough. Now you see this thing. So when the space is not enough, what should you do? Just highlight the entire sheet, right? And just double click on any of them so that it will show you automatically in the event. Now, this thing, can you see this problem here? This was the first time you know, have you heard the saying that ignorance is expensive?
Yes.
Have you heard of that saying?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
I did not understand it until I experienced it.
Wow.
Yes. So I always like remind people of this story that happened to me. So I did a job for a lady, right? So this was like maybe 15 years ago, right? So then we don't have all this WhatsApp now. Okay? So it was more like email, so back and forth. So I finished the job, I sent this to her. So in her own version, the report was coming out like this.
Wow.
But in my own, it was full. So she now said that there's a virus. There's a virus. I now resent it again. She said it is the same thing. It is the same thing. Do you know that I had to travel from Benin to Lagos because of this?
My God. Wow.
Yes. So she had to pay flights,
Wow.
virus, and my work. So because I had to clean virus, when I just saw it, this is the virus. So wonderful. So all the risk I have taken to clean virus, she will pay for it. My transport should pay for it, and my services should pay for it. I only took me 1 second. That was the first day I knew that statement. Ignorance is expensive.
But I'm sure that you did, but I am sure you did not tell her what you did now.
No, what will I say now? I said that like this. I was sleeping virus now. I was sleeping virus. Eh? Our first day when they say ignorance is expensive, I do not know how expensive it is. Okay? So some things we think we know, we take it for granted that everybody should know. No, it is a big problem for some people. Okay? All right. So are we okay with conditional formatting?
Yes.
Yes,
These are the
sir.
basic things in conditional formatting. All right, so let's move to the next one, sorting and filtering. And you guys, you guys are consultants now, so I'm sure everybody knows how to sort and filter.
Ah,
Is there anybody
no,
that
me,
doesn't
I
know how to
don't
sort
know.
and filter?
I don't know.
I don't know too.
You don't know.
But no, I'll not be here. Oh.
Adio.
Yeah, you guys said you are four now. You guys are four. No, me, I'm
That for is typing 4.
yeah. You guys said you are four now. So, all right.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, what?
I'm.
Minus
I'm
one,
two.
minus one.
All right. Sorting and filtering. Okay, let's start. What when you say sorting, what does sorting mean? When you say sort, what does it mean?
That's arranging basis of some criteria.
To arrange based on what?
Some criteria. Or
Certain
features.
what criteria. Okay, thank you. Any other one? Sorting. Yes, any other explanation of sorting? Okay, what about filter? What about filter?
And that's when you want to remove something out of something. Maybe you are filtering.
Yes,
what type?
cleaning. Yeah, trying
Yeah,
to
let me
clean
see.
something.
Yeah.
So we say sorting has to do with what?
Arranging in
Rearranging.
terms of criteria or features. Like, okay, these beans, put beans here, this rice,
So
put rice here. Yeah.
arranging, isn't it?
Yes.
Then filter has to do with what?
Cleaning.
Cleaning.
Or, or selecting.
Okay,
Has
okay.
to do with selecting.
Selecting.
Okay, all right. So yes, sorting actually has to do with what? Arranging your data in a particular word order. It can either be in ascending or what descending word order. Okay? But your filter, it means what? You are selecting based on certain word criteria. Selecting based on criteria. This is your sorting, and this is your filtering. So to sort means I'm arranging in a particular word order, either ascending or descending order. So let's look at this table. Can you tell me what's wrong with this table? Tell me what's wrong with this table. So we're on this sheet now, sorting and filtering, okay? So tell me what's wrong with this table.
No, it's just it's not really arranged in alphabetical order. The states, maybe.
Yeah, yes. And the numbers too. Some are higher than the other. The values.
Okay, the values.
The months too are not also
Yeah, I know
arranged
arranged.
properly. Yes.
All right.
Months,
Now,
dates,
all
the
right.
value.
Now, this sorting is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. And it can cause embarrassment. Now, you know why? So when it says sort, you want to sort the state in alphabetical order, is it not?
Yes.
To see what some people will do. They want to sort it, right? So they will take your state, isn't it? And when you want to sort, you come, can you see your home tab? Can you see sort and filter?
Yes.
A to Z. Expand, just say continue with current selection.
Coach, this
Have
thing
we
has,
sorted?
Sorry.
I've experienced this thing,
No.
oh, coach.
Have we
The
sorted?
value,
No,
Sorry,
we
sir.
only
Please,
started
can you
C.
redo it again?
We only
I
started
did not
C.
see what you did.
I will do it again. I highlighted, right?
Okay.
I highlighted the state now, isn't it?
Okay.
Then I come here, my home tab,
Okay.
sort
Home
and
tab.
filter.
Okay. Okay. Sort
A
and
to
filter.
Z.
Okay.
Continue with current selection. Okay, sort. Have we
the
sorted?
value is not.
No.
The value was not
We only
sorted.
sorted C states, not
Um,
the entire data we want to sort.
Yes, and because it
The
was highlighted,
corresponding
it was only the
values
state
were not
that was
sorted.
highlighted.
This is the mistake some people make.
I've done
They
this
have
thing like
presentation, they have presentation. They say
Hmm.
go and sort. They just only sort this without taking the corresponding number. When you are presenting, when you finish talking your rubbish, they'll now ask you, how is this? And it's just a very simple mistake that can cost you your job. Just this alone. So whenever you want to sort, what do? Always what?
Highlight
Take the whole
everything.
data, highlight the whole data. Say,
Whole data.
this is not my portion, no. Highlight the whole data. Sort A to Z. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, dude. Have you done that now? So have we done that now? So I'll do it again. Now there are different ways of doing it. Now again, I can also come here, highlight my whole data, where I have the data I want to sort, right? I can right click and say sort. Can you see sort? I can highlight my data, right click and say sort A to Z. Who was the person that said he has sorted and took only maybe like only the states or only one column?
me. Oh,
So what happened?
that day I actually went to give my boss the report,
Yes.
and the funniest thing is he has some figures offhand. So he just saw the name first. He said, this number one is not correct now. Why? This is not the, I said, no, it's correct. I sorted everything. He said, no, this is rubbish. Like, I was so embarrassed.
Exactly. Exactly. So as simple as this, it can cause what a big what embarrassment. Okay. Just imagine you are going to meet in front of maybe.
And the funniest thing is, I even went back to my seat still, and I was still doing the same thing again.
We are still doing the same thing again.
Like, it was just the number was changing,
Knowledge is
everything
power.
was changing. Like I was like, what was wrong? It's correct now. Till I
That
went
is
to
why-
YouTube and just check.
Now, how did he know that? That's why I keep saying, how did he always know that it was what you have done is wrong?
He has the values, like they have seen the data before I even went to
Beautiful.
arrange
So
it.
there's one thing that I keep saying. You see that your domain knowledge and your experience in data analysis, you can never throw that away. It is very important. Why? Because it gives you context to whether that numbers make sense or not. Okay? So that is why at every level, that's why at manager level, once they even see the data, even if you like, use Python, scrape, do everything, bring the results, like they'll look at it and just say you have done rubbish. They don't know how to code though, but they know that these numbers don't make any sense. So that is why your domain knowledge is very, and that's your experience, very important. Okay? Because that is the basis in which you give numbers to the analysis or give context to the analysis you have done, whether it makes any sense or not. Okay. Now, another thing you can do again, you can also, so let me undo. You can also highlight your table. I can come here for my state, right? Highlight from my state to April 14. I can highlight this, right? Another way to avoid any problem, instead of highlighting, right? Just come here to custom sort, sort and filter. Can you see your custom sort?
Yes, sir.
Custom sort. Okay. Sort by what? What do I want to sort by? Sort by what?
By state.
By state, isn't it? Click OK. This one will never deceive you. It will never fail you.
That is after you have highlighted it.
Yeah. Even wait, let me see. Let's see. Even if I just come here, like I don't highlight, right? Let me check. I come here, sort, custom sort. Sort by what?
State.
State.
State. Yeah, even when I don't highlight it. Can you see that? Now, the reason why it happens like this is because you notice that this table has a better structure, a compact structure. Imagine there was space. And I want to highlight, I want to go and highlight now. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Yeah?
Really, I like
So
the
sometimes
state.
because of that space, it can just give you what unnecessary word problem. Those empty spaces, right? Can give you unnecessary word problem. All right. So are we clear with this sorting?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The states, are we clear with it?
Yes, sir.
Now, but is this table, is this still okay for us?
No, the date is not okay.
No.
The date is not okay, isn't it? The date is not also
Yeah.
what? Okay. All right. What we are going to do again to make life easy for ourselves, let us highlight from the date, January, February to what? April, isn't it? So let me delete that so that when I'm highlighting. So if I want to highlight it, Control Shift, right arrow, down arrow, isn't it? I select the whole data once. Now, what I can do again, I can come here, sort and filter, custom sort. Sort by what? What do I want to sort by?
By February 14th.
By February 14th.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I sort by February 14th, what do you think has happened?
You only sorted February.
It only sorted what?
February.
February. Is that what you want to do?
No.
No.
What do you want to do?
You want to sort February, June,
Is
January,
it
March.
not?
You want to rearrange, yes.
You want to rearrange it, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I highlight, is it not? I've highlighted my data now, is it not? Sort and
Yeah.
filter, custom sort. So any other thing to sort by?
Let's put February and we'll just sort on or sort order.
Yeah. That one you're just adding more problems. Now, the issue is that by default, Excel sorts top to bottom.
Okay.
Excel sorts what? Top to what? Bottom.
Bottom.
But what do you want to do? How do you want to sort?
Sideways.
How do you want to sort? From your left to what? Right.
Right.
Is it not?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we are going to do, we are going to come to options. Can you see sort left to right?
Okay. Left to right. Okay.
Click OK. All right. So now sort by what now?
Row
Row 3. I mean, sorry. Row
2.
Row 2.
Row what?
2.
Row 2. Have we done it now?
Yes, but the value is, I don't know, it's looking somehow.
Look at the original data now. isn't it? So I want to sort this way, right? So custom sort, options, left to right, sort by row what? 2. Then okay. So which values you say and they are somehow? Are we clear with this now? How to sort?
Yes.
Yes, sorry, coach. Now I see when we're about sorting from sideways, like from left to right. I noticed we didn't pick this state.
States. All right. So look at. So let me explain why. Let me explain why. Let's say I pick states now, right? I
Yes.
pick the state. So sort and filter, custom sort, options, left to right. Sort by what? Row 2. So what has happened?
The state will change. Where the state
You
is.
have
You
gone to
have to
the
go
other
and
side
copy
there.
this now. And go and paste.
Oh,
Is it not? I have to now create another column here. Insert. To now copy this out. So come and paste it.
Okay. Hmm.
long.
Do you understand that now?
Wow.
Yes.
You just create more
But
problems.
if sorry, coach, if we are doing it the first way and this way, it will still give us same values.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So are we clear with sorting now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so let's go to filtering. So we said filtering has to do with what?
Selecting.
Select
Selecting based on certain what
based on
criteria.
Yes.
So for example, I'll ask you, so these are transactions from maybe Domino Pizza, right? So when they have sold, okay. So let's look at how many transactions do they have here. So if I want to select the whole data, how do you select the whole data?
Control
Shift.
shift.
control
Right
control
down.
So
Huh?
write down. Control shift write down.
Control Shift right and down, right?
Yes.
or maybe control A.
Or Control
5,000.
A. Or Control A.
Ah,
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if I want to check, so how many pizzas do they have? So
5,000.
this is about how much? How many?
5,000.
That's 5,000, right?
Yes.
That's about 5,000 good. Now from this 5,000, I want to know how many barbecue chicken did they sell? How many barbecue chicken?
Okay.
How many barbecue chicken did they sell? Yeah, so how will you do it now?
You
So
click,
one.
you highlight.
So we'll be counting now. 1.
No, you cannot count to
You have to
5,000
highlight
there.
I can't
everything.
count. Why now?
From 6 to
Are
9,
you
they
not
are
working?
still
Are
there.
you not working hard?
We said we should work smart.
3. By the time you have done this,
Now,
they tell you
wow,
well done.
this,
It's an Acacia work.
Alright.
this.
So rather, what do we need to do now?
Just highlight the filter.
Okay, you want to highlight. If you highlight that, that's also okay. You can highlight, sort and filter.
Sort and
This is
filter.
filter.
Filter,
Yes.
okay.
So filter. So whenever you filter, you will see this button will come on top.
Okay.
What I have shown you is the long way. On your home tab, you have sort and filter, right? You have filter. Alternatively, I can right click and say filter. You see that? You can say
Okay.
filter. Or shortcut, Control Shift L.
Control Shift.
L. Control Shift L. Control Shift L. L for lion. Control Shift L. Control Shift L.
What about for sorting?
No, for sort, even if you want to sort, if I press Control Shift L, you see that it's coming to this, but your table must be arranged properly. So the only way you can just do that is just to highlight, right click and sort.
Okay.
You see that? or you just go to your custom stuff.
Custom stuff.
All right. But for filter, Control Shift L. Okay. So what do I want to do? I want to sort by what? I want to filter by what?
Barbecue.
Barbecue chicken. So I will deselect all, isn't it? And
Okay.
select only what?
Barbecue.
Barbecue or chicken. And click OK. So how many do we sell?
Control. That's you can see.
So how many do you think we sold?
Don't know.
Are you going to?
Now, can you look at this, my status bar down? Can you see my status bar down?
310.
So we had 5,000, is it not?
Yes.
5,000.
So how many did we sell?
310.
310.
So assuming they ask you, give me the report of all barbecue chicken that we have sold. So it means that you need to copy this one out now, is it not? So how many do you have? How many do we sell? 310, is it not?
Yes.
I will now copy and say, okay, since this is what I want now, is it not? So let me copy it out
Yes.
and let me delete it. So let me copy it out. Let me copy this out. Copy. So I want to paste now. How many do we sell?
310.
I have pasted. How many did I paste? How many came out when I pasted?
Yes. The sorting is not showing.
So how many? I pasted how many? 1, 2. So from 310, how many did it show me? Even when I'm dragging it. What do you think is happening?
It's not condition. It's not condition. Abi?
What do you think is happening? That even when I drag down, even when I pick this and I drag it down, it's not even working. What do you think is happening? Yes? What do you think is happening?
Or maybe it's seen as a repetitive data.
Okay. Any other person? Look at it well. Look at it well. What do you think is happening?
Okay. This what is it called? This value. This variable type is number.
It's number.
It should be number now.
Now, can you see that on this side? What did you notice here on this side? What did you
Oh,
notice?
1, 4, 51, 72, 50.
So what's happening there? What do you think has happened?
It's packed everything. Though. It's missing some columns.
It's
Some
missing.
cells.
No, that means that because you have filtered, it is hiding some rows.
Some rows, okay.
So anytime you want to copy your filtered data, never paste it on the same sheet. So rather, what you do, take it to a new sheet and what? Paste. Can you see that? So if I want to label this one, how many do we have? How many are we expected to have had?
3 something.
310, 310.
310.
10. So can you see it here now? So anytime you filter your data, never paste it on the same sheet. Why? Because whenever you have filtered, it's going to hide some what? Rows. So rather, what you do, you copy it and paste it what? On a new word sheet. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If I want to pick another one, let's say I want to pick barbecue chicken and beef suya. So how many records?
5,000 records.
That's 624.
624.
6 what? 24.
24.
If I want
But
to get this record, what do? I just copy it, take it to where?
another new page.
A new page, exactly, and paste it there. So that is why you can copy and be pasting it you know that it's 300, but you are only pasting maybe like 5 or 6. So the reason is because anytime you filter, it's going to hide what? The rows. It's not seeing the rows for you. Clear? Are you clear with the sorting and filtering now?
Yes.
Are we clear with sorting and filtering now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So copy and paste filter data. You understand this now, right? That anytime you filter the data, always take it towards a new word. All right. So let's look at this. Now, can you tell me? We have 5,000 pizzas sold, isn't it? We have 5,000 pizzas that we have sold now, isn't it? Can you tell me
Yes,
the
sir.
unique? Can you tell me the unique pizza types that we have? The unique pizza types. Unique pizza types. How many unique pizza types do we have?
Unique in what sense, sir?
Unique now. So, for example, we have pizza, we have extravaganza, barbecue chicken,
Okay.
hot veggies. So, how many unique types do you think we have?
Coming.
You can go. You can be scrolling through and be counting, isn't it? So we have
Yes.
pizza one, isn't it? We'll be going down. Chicken pizza, Italiano, barbecue Philly steak. So you'll be going down like this up to 5,000, right?
No. We use filter.
You use what? So
Filter.
if I filter, so what do I do now?
Highlight.
It shows everything you have. You click on
So I
the
come
arrow.
down here. You know, to show me the unique pizza type, but I want to see it on the sheet now. I want to see it on the sheets here. This is in this filter, but not. I don't want to see it as filter. I just want to see the data itself, not just the filter. So what we are going to do, we can highlight the data. Okay, can you see under your data tab? Can you see your data tab? So let's do that. So let me highlight the table. Have you highlighted? Click on your data. Click on your data. Are you there?
Yes.
Are you there? Now look at here. Can you see data tools? Data tools. Can you see it here?
Yes.
You will see remove duplicates. Can you see that? On your own, check it. Can you see remove duplicates? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
So click on it. Select. What do I want to select? So let me. It's only pizza sold at one, is it not?
Yes.
So I will check serial number and time. I don't want. It's only pizza sold I want. Okay. So once you are done, click OK. So how many unique pizza types do we have?
16.
16. Can you see there? It's already telling you 16 unique what values what we need. If I come here and label it again, then now I can remove this out. I don't need it. So do we see that? So I'll do it one more time. So again, the thing is that since I know it is just pizza type I need, I can just come here. This is the only thing I need. So I come here to my data tools, filter, continue with current expansion. Okay, and I'm done. Can you see that? In case I don't need all these ones, I can just remove them. Since I don't need it, I can remove them. That's for that. So the same way with customer name. So if I want to remove customers, so can you guys do this one now?
Yes, sir.
I want to know how many unique customers do I have? So this is about 9,000 customers. So can you tell me how many unique customers do I have in this video?
$793.
7 what?
93.
793. How did you know?
I just remove duplicate.
You just remove duplicate, isn't it? So data, remove duplicate, customer name. Okay, so 793. So to confirm it, 1, 2, I just double click down. Another way again I can do is that if I highlight the names from here to here, can you see count? Can you see this count here? You see it?
No.
So when I highlighted here, from here, not from customer name, from this first person down, can you see the count already?
Yes.
Which is the same thing of what you have done here. All right. Are we clear to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we're clear. But coach,
Yes.
if you're doing all this, what's it called? Removing duplicates.
Yes.
We should not do it on our data, what's it called? Data
On
page.
the data sheet, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Your data sheet keeps the original data as it is.
Okay. So how do we have to copy and
Yeah, just
move
copy
to
and paste on your analysis and do whatever you want to
okay.
do. Okay. All right. So are we clear up to remove duplicates? I see everything is done. We are building gradually, is it not? We
Yes,
are
sir.
building gradually. Okay, building it gradually now. Now, all we have seen is that any of these things can come up as a problem at any point. But all you need to know is that there are different ways of doing the same thing. Okay, in Excel. So it's just for you to now be exposed to as many techniques as possible. Okay. Now let's go to the next thing. All right, so let's go to this one. Remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. We have removed duplicates. So convert to table. There's one other thing I wanted to show you guys, but I don't know if you can find it on this table. Okay, what I will do is that maybe we'll create it. Let's create it. What I want you to do, if in case I want to duplicate this sheet, if I want to duplicate this sheet, you know what you can do?
Yes.
To duplicate a sheet, right click on this convert to tables, right? Instead of me copying, so you know what you can do? You know you can copy this, right? Copy, take to a new sheet and paste. Can you see that? Alternatively, what you can do, I can come here, I'll just right click here, convert to tables, right? Move or copy. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Move or copy. Can you see where you have create copy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Create copy. So I can click it wherever I want to move the sheet to. So let me move it close to create copy. So
Yes.
copy and paste. Click OK. So can you see it has made it convert to table 2? It has made a copy of it. Then maybe I can just this one and say blank rows. Let me see blank rows. Blank rows. Oh, blank rows already exist. Where is blank rows? Okay, if it already exists, then I can remove that then. So sometimes if I'm looking for a particular sheet and I don't know where the sheet is, you know what you can do? Just come here. Instead of, here, this is what I'll use to what? scroll left and right, is it not? I'll scroll left and right. Can you see these 3 dots? Can you see it's just moving left and right for me, okay? Now what I can do, I can come here to any of these arrow and just right click. Can you see it has brought out a list for me? You see that? It has brought out a list for me. Then in that case, I can now check, what do I want to look? Okay, I'm looking for blank rows. So can you see this table, blank rows? So look for this column, blank rows. Blank rows. Are we there? Blank rows. Are we on this table now? On this sheet, blank rows.
Yes.
Are we here all here now?
Yes, sir.
Now remember our rules, right? Remember our rules that we should not have empty. There should be one word column of header, isn't it? No empty rows, no empty columns. Do we have empty rows and empty columns here?
Yes.
So since we have them, what should we do?
We delete or
We remove
put them
them,
up.
isn't it?
Yeah.
We can remove them, isn't it? So we only
Yes.
have one empty column, so I can easily remove that. Delete. What about rows? How do I remove rows? How to delete rows? How do you think I will delete rows? I come here, delete. Can you see that? I'll come here, I delete. Now imagine that I have up to 1,000 empty rows like that. So what do you think I will do? Will I be removing them one by one? So first of all, remove all your columns manually first. Because if you don't remove it manually, it will wipe out your table for you. So just remove your columns manually. So just right click and delete your columns. So just right click and say delete. But as for your rows, what we can do, if you have your, what they call it now, can you see your find and select here? Find and select.
Yes.
Can you see find and select?
Yes.
You don't need to highlight anything. No. You can just come here. Find and select. Can you see that? Go to special. Have you seen it? Go to special. Can you see something like this? Can you see this?
Yes.
So click blanks. I'm looking for blanks. I'm looking for what? Blanks. Click what? Okay. What has happened?
Highlighted everything.
Highlight.
It has highlighted what?
All the blanks.
All the blanks. So what do? I click delete. And that's all. I'll do it one more time. So for your columns, delete it manually first. Now the reason is that if I highlight this and I say, let me delete, right? That's fine. But if you highlight the whole table and you are deleting a column, because that column is going, almost your whole table will be going. So that's why if I leave it this way and I say find and select, go to special, blanks. Okay. Have you seen that it has highlighted everywhere blank, whether row or column? Have you seen that?
Yes.
So if I click delete, now what has happened? It's not letting me delete because there are tables there. So because of that, sometimes it can even wipe out your whole table for you. So the best thing you should do is to do what? First of all, delete this your column manually first. Right click and say delete first. Okay. Then to select your entire what? To select your entire sheet, right? Blanks, you know what you can do. Either you press Ctrl G, right? Ctrl G is go to special, blanks. Okay, or alternatively, instead of me using Control G, I can use F5. F5 special blanks. Okay, sir. Delete. But you see now, I did not highlight everything for me there. So let's do that again. F5 special blanks. Okay. And I delete. So those are the different ways of what deleting your words. So if I try it, Control Shift right arrow down arrow, so it picks everything at once for me. But if it does not pick everything down for you, you know there's still a problem there. So are we clear with how to select all the blank rows and delete them?
At a point, my internet was having issues, so if you can just do a quick recap from the
So what we
beginning.
are saying that for your columns, delete them manually first.
Okay.
Because if you allow it to automatically delete everything, when it's deleting that column, wherever I see a row, it can delete it for you. So to avoid that, delete your columns manually. So, but to select your rows, what you can do, press F5 or Control G.
Okay.
F5 or Control G, then special blanks. Okay. So once it selects that, click.
Sorry, you click on F5, then Control G.
Yes, yes. No, no, either F5 or Control G, they are the same thing. Either
Okay.
F5 or Control G, they will do the same thing.
Okay.
Special blanks. Okay. And click delete. So in 1 second, I have deleted all my words blanks. Are you clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. So let's go to another one. Let's go to this table. Convert to tables. Convert to table. Convert to table. So here we must have already removed all our words blank. So remember all those rules we mentioned. What are those rules? Can you mention the rules for our table for our data?
Okay. No empty rows and no empty columns.
Yeah, check. Is there empty rows? There empty columns?
No.
Do we have empty rows and empty columns here?
No.
What again?
You must have a row of header.
Do we have a row of header here?
Yes.
What again?
No totals, no subtotals in your data.
Do we have totals or subtotals here?
No.
Okay, what again?
All dates must be in a singular column.
All dates. Do we have dates on the singular column here? On the single column? Do we have dates on the single column here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Do we have dates on the single column here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What again?
Never
All
match
type-
cells.
Okay.
Yes.
All category must be in a single column.
All what?
All category must be in a
Category.
single column.
All categories must be in a single column. So check our categories. Do we have? Can you identify the categories here? So, for example, you have when you say categories, it's not just category of this, right? It can be any of them. You can have your subcategory, your product name, your regions. They are unique now, isn't it? Your states, your cities, your segments, your customer. Can you see they are all in a single word column? So does it meet that rule?
Yes.
Yes. What again?
Never match cells.
So all those are other practices. But I'm just saying for your data, right?
Okay.
All those are, yes, it's also important that we also check that they don't match cells and the rest, okay? But these ones are just the basic 7 that we gave you. Then the last one was what? You should not have any obstruction around the data.
Yes.
Right? So you see, this is a clean data. And it also follows what the proper structure. So anytime you are keeping any data, this is the structure you should have at the back of your mind. Can you see that? This is kind of data. So anytime you are keeping any data, ensure they follow what this kind of structure. Once your data is in this kind of structure, your problem is, let's say, 80% gone. All you can now do is to what? Analyze. Okay? But when you don't have it in this form, that is when you now start having what? Big problems. Somebody was asking for the rules. I think we shared them somewhere. I can't remember where we shared them. I wrote them somewhere down, but I can't remember where. Okay, look at some of them here. Look at them here. So maybe I can take that. Let me copy and see if we can put it on the chart. Yes. So I think those are the rules. All right, so let's make progress. Now, anytime you have a table like this, right? When you have it in table, in Excel, you know Excel works with grid lines. So those grid lines look like table, isn't it?
Yes.
But please take note, this is not a table. In Excel, this is not a table. Okay? But because maybe you are coming from maybe like Microsoft Word, if you put it in this form in your mind, this is a table, is it not?
Exactly.
But in Excel, this is not a table. Okay? All you have done is that you have only filled rows and columns, that's all. It's not yet a table. So what you have to do, you have to make it what? An Excel or table. So how do you do that? You see on your home tab, can you see on your home tab?
Home tab, okay.
On your home tab, on this your home tab, so on this your home tab you have here, right? You will see where you have your, what they call it now? Look at, can you see format table? Format as table, can you see this?
Yeah.
Format as table. So the moment you have your table structured, automatically, it should pick it out for you. Okay, it should pick it out for you. So click OK. Now just imagine this. Imagine what you want to do. Let me show you. Imagine you want to follow the pattern. Like, so for example, if I highlight this row, I come here, I say, okay, let me paint it like this. So imagine here, I want to paint this one again. I'll come here, I will paint. I'll come here, I will paint. I think you have seen tables like this now.
Yes.
Now you have how many? Almost how many here? Almost about 10,000. Is that how you are going to be painting it one by one? Yeah? So to put it in that kind of structure, you just come to your home tab, see your format as what? Table. So look at my format as table here. So I say, okay. So can you see what I tried to create here? So I already have what? My table. Now, how do I know that this is an Excel table? Have we all done this now?
No.
I'll do it again. So just click anywhere. As long as it follows this compact structure, just come here, format as what? Table. Click anyone that you want. Okay. Can you see that?
Okay.
So if I don't want this row, If I don't want to show it like this, can you see? I don't want to show it like this. I want to show banded columns. Can you see this? I can do it this way. If I want to switch colors, I can switch the colors here. If I don't want that banded columns, I can switch it to banded rows. So these are my banded rows. So I can also switch that. I'm sure we have seen tables like this before now, right?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear with this now? You don't want anything. If you still want it plain, it can be like this, okay? Now, but what makes it an Excel table? Can you see here that the moment you have clicked and created this table like this, did you notice here you have table design on top? Did you notice that?
Yes.
Have you noticed that table design?
Yes.
This tells you that this is an Excel word table. But if I want to remove, if I don't want it as an Excel table, what do I do? I'll say convert to range. Convert to range. Can you see convert to range here?
Yeah.
Do you want to convert it to normal range? Yes. Now, what do you notice now? Can you see the table design now?
No.
So it means that even if it is colored like this and formatted this in this proper form, it does not make it what an Excel table. Can you see the difference? For you to make it an Excel table, what do you do?
Go to format as table.
Format table. Alternatively, shortcut is Control T. Control T. Control T. Control T. Okay? Control T. If I press Control T, I will have my words. So the same way, I can come here, Control T, and I have that. So you see, the moment I make it a table, can you see table design is there? Then another practice you must have is that you must always label your table. So I can label this table. What should I label this table now? Let's say customers. Let's say customers. Always label your word table, customers. All right. So can you see how clean your table looks now? Okay. Customers. All right. Are we clear with this?
Yes.
Have we all done this now? In case you want to put your column, your row total, your total here, you can put total here. And you see, I will have the total there already. If I want to make it banded columns, I uncheck banded rows and make it what? Banded columns. Can you see that? If I don't want my filter buttons, I can uncheck it. So I will not have my filter buttons, so I don't want to activate them. First column, can you see if I want to make it dark? Last column, if I want to make it dark, my last column will be dark. Row headers, I don't want row headers. Unchecked. But if I want row headers to show, I can put it there. Filter button, if I don't want filter button, I'll uncheck it. Okay. Banded columns or banded rows, any of them. I can uncheck that. So it all depends on how I want to present it. Okay. So if I want to remove it from table, what do I do? Convert to range. Yes. Now, can you see that table design has disappeared? So it means that this is no longer an Excel or table. Now, the reason why you always have to put in an Excel table, so if I press Ctrl T, okay, let me first show you. It means that if I want to add anything here, let's say this is what. I want to add another person now. Let's say another customer. Let's say CA 2021. So I want to add this person. Is it not? Can you see what I have to do? I will now start typing whatever information I need here. So let me just drag this one down. So have you seen that? So this is when it's not an Excel table. Okay, but when it's an Excel table, see the difference now. See the difference now. When it's an Excel table, if I want to add now, so let me go to the last one. I want to now add. So let's say CA 2021. Automatically, it's going to help me fill up whatever information I need to do here. So that whenever I fill the data, if there's any analysis I want to do for me, to do it immediately, everything will be done for me immediately. So for example, if I want to do like, let me show you. If I want to get profit now, let's say I want to get revenue. How do you get revenue normally? How do you get revenue? If I want to get revenue now, I say revenue.
Sales times profit.
Can you see automatically it has created something for me already? Isn't it? So if I say equal to what? Let's say sales times quantity, right? You see automatically has created everything for me. I don't have to start dragging and double clicking. It just creates the thing for me automatically. Okay? So that is one reason why we need to do it. So by next week, when we come in, I will show you how to analyze your tables, especially your pivot tables. Have you heard of pivot tables before?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So far, what we have done, just go back and repeat it. Because when we have done pivot table, I'm going to give you a specific project you are going to do. Okay? That you are going to start your analysis. So this is where your data analysis job now begins. See what you have not started, we are just only showing you different parts. Now you have an idea of how your table should look like, isn't it? So as an analyst, you should always transform your table to look in this structure. So that it can make life easy for you when you want to analyze the data. Okay? So go back, retry everything we have done so far. So by next week when we come, we are going to start analyzing these tables. Okay? So I think with this, we have come to the end of this session. So please go back and make sure you practice what we have just done. Okay? Then you have any other questions, you can always ask.
Okay. If we want to practice, it is still with that Excel sheet that we downloaded.
Yes. Practice with that Excel. Another thing again, if you have any other Excel you have in your organization, right, that you work with every time, see how you can transform it based on what you have learned now.
Okay. Then if I have any questions that I want to reach out to you, what's the best things? Do you have your WhatsApp?
So on the camp, what you can also do, you can reach out to Dami. I don't know if there is going to create any group, but reach out to Dami. Then just reach out to Dami, send Dami the questions, and we'll always find a way. Or on the canvas, I think on the canvas again, you can also do that.
Okay.
Yes, you can also do that. But reach Dami just in case you need to have any question. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and have a great week.
Thank you.